She's in the dressing room. I want you to obey the commands, protect yourselves at all times. Right now, over here, we're going to call everything under the letters. Over here, we're going to call everything under the letters, okay? Tap it up, let's go.
Felix Diaz pulls the upset off tonight. Might be the biggest win in the history of Dominican professional boxing. Terence Crawford is as special as he is, Roy, you mentioned it, because he's next level competitive. He's one of the most competitive athletes in the world. There are stories about Michael Jordan, how he wanted to beat you at everything. That remind you of Terence Crawford at everything. He doesn't want to lose at everything, and he turns everything into a competition.
And you see he starts out southpaw already because he's fighting a southpaw, so you knew he would come out and show the southpaw that he could beat him as a southpaw.
And in this stance, Roy Jones, long jab, very stiff, hard right jab, pretty good little left hook to the body down there, and uppercuts with the right hand. All those things, tremendous weapons for him in this stance.
And he's utilizing that beautiful jab to keep the opponent at bay.
His competitiveness, Crawford's competitiveness, can come out in the ring as sadistic, who enjoyed inflicting punishment. And Crawford, as nice as he is out of the ring, like Triple G, and friendly as he is and approachable with fans, seems to enjoy punishing his opponent.
Terence Crawford fought 25 rounds in 2016 against 3 different opponents: Hank Lundy, Victor Postol, John Molina. He might have won all 25 of the rounds.
He has caught him with a couple right hooks, not much on them, but showed Crawford he could touch him.
Now Diaz manages to get inside Crawford's arms.
He's not going to beat Terence Crawford from the outside. And Terence Crawford is doing a good thing of letting him know that by keeping that jab on him and making him stay at a distance.
See the CompuBox graphic at the bottom showing you that Crawford has already tripled the number of landed punches for Diaz in the round. He wound up throwing 49 jabs in the round, landing 10, somewhat reminiscent of the night that we saw Gennady Golovkin come in and throw 52 jabs in the first round against David Lemieux. But this is putting an emphasis where the emphasis belongs.
That's exactly right, and that's guys who know how to make those adjustments right on the fly. They know who to do what against. This is what you like about top pound-for-pound fighters. They know how to make changes and make things happen.
Diaz caught him with an overhand left.
And he caught Diaz with an overhand left as well.
The first time we saw him in a brilliant defensive performance against the dangerous Bradis Prescott of Colombia, that's really the night that he stepped forward toward prominence in the sport.
Yep, and he just landed a beautiful left hand on Diaz again.
He did, and Crawford is usually hit earlier in a fight a little more cleanly. Class tells over time in the fight game especially. And then as the rounds pass, the difference in class tells.
Notice that he tied Diaz up and carefully managed him along the ropes there, rather than to get into a situation where Diaz could hammer his body.
Yeah, why would you do that with a guy that's shorter than you? You know, his punching power is close at close quarters, so you give him what you want to give him, and you tie him up once he gets in his area to unleash. Don't allow him to unleash.
Goes back to working the jab. He's already thrown 73 of them in the first couple of rounds.
Diaz has a little mouth under that right eye from that left hand right there.
When Crawford is in the far right corner, and I assure you, he would love to knock out Diaz in that corner.
Oh, Diaz with another good little right hook on the inside.
He got in a good one. Diaz showing his rambunctiousness in round 2. Back in perfect health, and it was great to see Tracy sitting very close to Jerry Cooney on that side of the ring tonight.
Crawford very much the kind of fighter with a mentality where when Diaz has a little success, we were talking about Crawford's competitiveness earlier, Crawford wants to take the play right away, right at that moment, and it should lead to continuing exchanges and a higher rate of more kind of intense exchanges as the fight progresses.
But with Diaz being a gold medalist as a southpaw, you knew he was going to want to come out and shake. Oh, good
right hand. Right up the middle from Crawford.
Oh, good shot by
Hard right hand by Crawford.
Wow. Crawford's already made the adjustment where he's timing Diaz's right hook and countering with 1-2s, knowing that Diaz will be vulnerable to them and his weight will be forward.
Hard body shot by Crawford with the left hand. Now he throws that left hand upstairs and lands it.
These are two big junior welterweights. I mean, you saw the unofficial weight today, basically each 160 pounds. That's a middleweight because of the day before weigh-ins nowadays. Fighters have a full day to rehydrate, and so here we have a middleweight fight contested for a junior welterweight belt.
Uppercuts with both hands by Crawford. There's another one. Just missing over the top with the left hand. Another right hand uppercut on the chin by Terence Crawford. Swelling around the right eye of Felix Diaz. As we arrive at round number 5, and Terence Crawford is gradually amping up the accuracy and throwing harder shots. Let's take a look at what's happened in the first 3 rounds in the eyes of our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman. Harold?
Okay, Jim. I got a 3-0, 30-27. Terence Crawford.
No, stop.
And then whack him with a hard straight left hand. I mean, Crawford's moving nicely. Landed all the good shots.
And you probably noticed in Diaz's corner that his trainer is Joel Diaz, who made his name for a long time as the trainer of Timothy Bradley, operates out of the desert in California, out near Indio.
Good hook by Diaz. The only thing Diaz is not really doing that would help him a little bit more is he's not using a jab, and that's what Terence Crawford is doing.
On the inside, Roy slipping those shots.
See that jab right there?
Putting himself in the position where Diaz really can't land shots even on the inside.
Another perfect uppercut by Crawford with the left hand. Got oohs and ahs from the crowd.
If you notice, everything that Diaz does is after Crawford does something like that.
Yeah.
And it's mainly because of that jab.
But then Crawford slips the uppercut and the hook on the inside. Diaz is actually having his best success timing Crawford from middle distance.
Let him go. Work out.
And Diaz was looking good in the late rounds against Lamont Peterson. It was in a phone booth fight. He needs to get, as Harold Letterman suggested, he needs to get up into Crawford's chest, to get inside his arms, to have a chance to really do damage in the fight. As long as Crawford can stand back here at arm's length, he's simply too good, too quick, too skilled for Felix Diaz.
The kind of more noticeable punches as he times them coming in, and the sweat flies from Crawford. Crawford's actually usually riding some of that shot back, and Diaz doesn't have his weight behind it. Crawford lands some vicious short shots on the inside.
Esau Diaz and Brian McIntyre, he spent time listening to both of them during the between rounds period coming off of round 4.
Good right hand jab followed by, counter over the top of Diaz's jab by Crawford.
Outside of him, Roy Jones, I can't think of another top fighter who brought 2 of them into the ring and treated them as equals.
No, not many people can do that.
Both Esau Diaz and Brian McIntyre, Crawford's trainers, are relatively ego-free. They don't really care much about who gets the credit. They want him to win.
Good hook head, hook body by Crawford. See right there, he just got his hands up walking forward. You're never going to get to Crawford like that. Got to have a jab. Shorter than most guys and could out-jab anybody. Good left hand by Crawford.
Like Muhammad Kawi, who was among that group of light heavyweights who provided tremendous excitement throughout the 1980s and climaxed his career with an unbelievable battle against Evander Holyfield.
The last great 15-round fight.
And I mean a great 15-round fight.
July 12th, 1986.
That's when you realize that Evander Holyfield truly was the real deal.
And Diaz is a really good fighter, and Crawford here has won every round apparently, and by increasingly wide margins.
A lightweight title.
Very impressive knockout.
And by the way, we've just been told that Jonathan Maicello has been checked into the emergency room, the trauma center at Bellevue Hospital, and we will await further updates from the doctors as to his condition. Crawford slips a punch and fires back 4.
Doing anything he wants to do, landing the uppercut coming in, making Diaz pay the price for everything, every mistake he makes.
Crawford inviting Diaz to come closer, toying with him now, humiliating Diaz by making clear to him that he's unwilling to come into the area where he might be able to do any damage whatsoever. Crawford is, among other things, a master psychologist in there, Roy.
Yes, he is. Very masterful psychologist, knows how to play games to make guys make stupid mistakes, and then he capitalizes once he gets them to do that.
And when I said sadistic earlier, I mean, he's a mean guy in there. See, Pernell Whitaker wasn't, but was just as mean. Liked beating the other guy up. Roy, you say that that's what you're supposed to do as a great prize fighter, but I remember instances of you waving the referee in so you wouldn't have to hurt your opponent, and only after the ref wouldn't come in did you shrug and knock your opponent out.
Terence Crawford does have that mean streak that Roberto Duran possessed. Sugar Ray Leonard was like me and Muhammad Ali. We didn't have, well, Sugar Ray was kind of mean though, but only when we needed.
When you needed it.
Yeah.
He's mean all the time
Right,
out there,
that's the difference.
Crawford.
That's the difference. You better believe it. But only when he needed it.
Ask Dave Green.
Who let his head come up too high and got hit right in the throat.
Oh, good enough.
Joel Diaz trying to motivate Felix Diaz. It was really interesting in our 4 questions feature before the fight that Felix Diaz gave that more or less standard answer that he would be in jail or dead if he had not become a fighter.
You know, Jim, his fast hands are just murdering Diaz. It's amazing. The guy is so quick. Got that, I'm talking about Terence Crawford. Got that hard right jab, that fast left hand, that incredible uppercut. Look at that.
What doesn't Terence Crawford have in that toolbox? The jab with both hands, southpaw and orthodox.
Oh, big
Good
left hand by Diaz. Best punch in several rounds. Crawford might have gotten a little too casual here. Diaz has come alive in round number 7.
Will he try to prove to Diaz that that shot did nothing to him and open himself up for more shots?
He just did by landing a good left uppercut to show Diaz that he's not as hurt as bad as it looks like he is.
Crawford talking to Diaz as they go shoulder to shoulder in there. Diaz with the left and Crawford with another sizzling right hook.
A sizzling body shot, that's what caused the problem.
Oh, those body shots from Crawford just then.
Right when you think you got him hurt, he attacks you with bigger punches.
And if Crawford follows his career pattern, Diaz will pay a price for having scored as well as he has here in round number 7.
Oh, he's paid the price. Now the question is, can he make Crawford pay an even bigger one? Crawford seems to me to be the kind of fighter, Roy, where you're going to have to separate him from his senses with one shot to get him in a fight like this. He's not going to just let you take the play away.
No, he's not. Not at all. And he's smart because he remembers to go to the body. Right when you get him, when you think you got him hurt, he remembers to go to the body. Most guys don't. You see Diaz come back after Crawford tried that left hand right jab again. He countered with a beautiful overhand left. Best punch he's been able to land all night.
In that 7th round, Felix Diaz landed a fight-high 16 punches. He threw 63, his largest number thrown in the fight. Crawford was 18 out of 46. That was a heck of a round for both fighters.
Well, you saw that stare down at the end of the round. That was a world champion and a former Olympic gold medalist competing against each other, neither wanting to give an inch.
Oh, good left hand counter by Crawford.
Great combination by Crawford. Situation, we have been told by people who are in the emergency room at Bellevue and can see what's going on, that Maciello is conscious and communicating with doctors, but nothing more severe than that at this point. Have something in the way of a personal style that's entertaining to watch. Steve Willis is as entertaining to watch as any referee currently working in boxing, and the level of his assignments tells you that the New York State Athletic Commission also believes he's a very good referee.
Based on a foundation where he makes good judgment. His judgment is sound, almost always. Good right hook from Crawford.
Oh, that hurt him. That hurt Diaz bad.
Yep.
Good body shot by Crawford.
One or two more of those to the body, Roy. I think he's more hurt by that left hand to the body.
He is, Max. He wants to go down for that body shot. Oh, good hook by Diaz. Left uppercut while Diaz was coming in.
So just to make the point, Ndongo is here because Crawford and his promoters are looking at the possibility of fighting Ndongo and trying to acquire the other two belts in the 140-pound weight class. And Max Kellerman, it happens so rarely in boxing, it would be another feather in Crawford's cap.
Yep, the belts are still important to the fighters. And I would say for people to, good left hand from Crawford.
Diaz in trouble again.
Diaz was in trouble a couple times in the last round and again here. Doesn't necessarily mean you're the best in the division, but it's a nice thing to do. And of course, if you could somehow win all the bowl games, there would be very little doubt that you're the best in the world. One
of the things that makes Canelo Triple G such an enormously attractive fight, that Canelo still holds what is called the lineal middleweight championship, while Triple G has 3 belts. Martinez, Cotto, and Canelo Alvarez at that time, all three were basically 154-pound fighters functioning in the middleweight division. Boy, you made the point in the last round that big shot may have been the beginning of the end for Diaz, and now Crawford is carefully selecting the power shots that he lands to try to bring this to the close.
And right now, they managed to protect Diaz from himself, as he's taking a pretty bad thrashing here.
Yeah.
Diaz trying to put up one last burst, going hard at Crawford as he came out of the corner. 10 seconds to go in round 9. It's been a really rough one for Felix Diaz.
See what Diaz's corner has to say in between rounds. The athletic contest has been decided, and it's possible he does something miraculous, but so unlikely.
9-0, 90-81, Terence Crawford. And in the 9th round, I'm telling you, the guy wanted to quit the entire 3 minutes.
Hopkins beat you up, but nothing was going to one-punch knock you out like that.
It's not just that Crawford accumulates small advantages. It's that he figures out how to exploit big ones, and he does it, before even the middle rounds begin.
If he had more devastating one-punch power, that would be more merciful. He beats fighters up, breaks them down, ruins their careers.
He got one-punch power. This guy's 161. That's why he's taking it. If he was 140 or 145, he would be down too.
Yeah, here's another scary thing about Crawford. As he's risen in weight, he's shown increasing power. Punch up with him in weight class. He's now humiliating Diaz.
When you see a guy who has the proper technique, Max, no matter how much weight he gains or loses, he's still going to be a great puncher because he punches with proper technique.
Right. The additional weight means his physical strength comes out and increase, with a good technique.
Felix Diaz has landed only 4 punches in this round. It was pointless to send him back out here.
Right.
Other than to further shorten his career.
Oh, good shot by Crawford. Oh. Felix Diaz is a one-game fighter, though. He's not quitting.
They're not going to let him out for the next round.
Now Joel Diaz waving the white towel. Technical knockout victory for Terence Crawford.
And still unified WBO, WBC super lightweight champion of the world, the fighting pride of Omaha, Nebraska, USA.